Hello and welcome to the Blanket Burritos. I am Emily.
I'm Sarah. Welcome.
This is our third or fourth time attempting to do this podcast, so hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah. We're just trying to make sure that we both sound like, the sound right. That's
Yeah,
why. There's been a
I'm too
lot of
loud and she's too not loud. So
trial
he's wearing a microphone right now and I'm not. So hopefully that'll make it better.
Yeah, we've tried a lot of things. We've tried both microphones, both
Mhm.
not. This other thing that made our whole podcast disappear. It was very upsetting.
Yeah,
And now we're doing I have a microphone and she doesn't.
yes. So, Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself to our beautiful podcast listeners? Who you are?
Yes, sure. I'm Sarah. I live in Brooklyn and I work at an architecture firm in Manhattan, which is exciting. A lot of coloring, a lot of drawing, and yeah, so that's me.
Cool. And I'm Emily, obviously, and I do a bunch of stuff. I am a behavior therapist for a school. So I know a lot about ABA and psychology, and I'm also a resident mental health haver, mental illness haver. So I have all the disorders, not really, but like I have ADHD and PTSD and anxiety and OCD, all the D's, wink wonk. And so I'm very experienced and have a lot of knowledge and trauma. I'm your gal.
She is your
And
gal.
I also have like a spiritual business on the side. So I like read Akashic records and tarot cards. And Sarah also does lovely tarot card readings, but not as a business. Maybe you should. Ooh, saucy. And what else? Oh, and I just got my Reiki Master certification and teacher. So that's all very exciting.
Yeah.
So we're very qualified to be giving you advice.
Emily's very qualified. I'm just kind of I'm just kidding.
No, that's not true. You're a human and you've lived life. I think that's qualifying enough.
That's fair. That's fair.
So we thought we'd start out our podcasts by pulling tarot cards or oracle cards and seeing what comes up for the collective. So Sarah, did you want to start?
Sure, I'll start. So I was gonna only pull one, but two jumped out, so they want to tell everyone things. So there's Yin, very pretty, very nice, and then Unfinished Symphony, which Yin is all about kind of like letting things flow to you, being like very receptive and open to like things flowing to you. And then Unfinished Symphony is like, I think, at becoming close to like an end of a cycle of something, but not quite there. There's like one last piece of the puzzle or like one last lesson to learn, let's say, before the new cycle begins. So yeah, those are the two that I pulled. And I know you pulled one, right?
Yeah, well, actually, two came out for them too.
Ooh, saucy.
Serendipitous. But one thing I want to say for yours is like it has a very like 10 of wands, not maybe not 10 of wands energy, but just like I'm gonna edit my like speaking out because I am just a fucking mess. It's just gonna be you speaking.
Just me.
No, it's very nice for the timing that we're filming this, which is the winter solstice is tomorrow. So that's all about endings and wrapping up stuff. But we pulled it with the intention of like what you're going to be needing to hear when you listen to this. Right. Oh my God, another knock at my door, Sarah. If this is the KFC, I'm going to scream.
Emily, would you like to share about your KFC story?
Like I already put on pants. I don't want to put on pants again to answer the door.
Just leave it. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm just not going to be here. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, my KFC story. So I ordered KFC from Grubhub. And, well, first off, I shouldn't have been ordering KFC from Grubhub because it makes my tummy hurt. But I really wanted mashed potatoes and the popcorn chicken. So I ordered it. But then as I was ordering it and I ordered it, I felt really guilty because I was like, oh, I shouldn't have done it. This was stupid because I'm just going to hurt later. But then it ended up being delivered to my neighbors, and I know which neighbor it is, and they haven't delivered it to my door, even though they know that it's mine. So did they steal it? Because they're out there. It's not like they're not there. Like,
right.
Oh my God, they're still knocking. Ugh, give me a second.
Okay.
Sorry, pause. So update.
You got your Kentucky Fried Chicken.
The neighbors didn't want their names to be slandered in the podcast. So
clearly.
They brought me my Kentucky Fried Chicken from hours ago. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I ordered it feeling really guilty about it, and then it didn't show up, and so I made my own, which made me feel better. But now I have this Kentucky Fried Chicken that I don't know what to do with. So comment below if you want a month-old Kentucky Fried Chicken sent to you. I'll send it right away.
Right away.
But yeah, what were we talking about? Were we doing Oracle card pools? And then I don't know how we got to Kentucky Fried Chicken, to be honest with you. But the two that I pulled were, it says feeling good.
Ooh.
Well, feeling good will bring me far more than whatever I thought I needed. And then I am in awe of the magnificent guidance that's available to me. Aww. So basically, when you stay in feeling good and not focus on all the bad things that are happening, is when you're going to see more of that. Because if you're just focused on all the bad stuff, the universe is going to bring you whatever you're focused on.
Right.
And then the I am awe of the magnificent guidance that's available to me. Basically, like, I don't know where you guys are at in your spiritual journey and stuff, but there's guidance all around us. You know, we have spirit guides, we have angels, we have ancestors, we have whatever. So even if you can't feel them, they're there. So if you trust that they're there and you ask, you know, them to interfere for your highest good and talk to you, it's always great. If that makes sense, I hope it made sense.
I think so.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And with your yin energy, that's very like feminine, and so like letting things come to you. I think of like when I get cards like that. Blake, no, that is my chicken. Go away. My cat's trying to eat my chicken. That's for the viewers. That's for one of the very lucky viewers. Don't you dare. So anyway, when I think of like yin energy and like whenever I get those cards that are like, let things come to you, it's like I imagine like just go be a flower.
Yes.
I always love that imagery.
I love that. Aww.
Yeah.
Everyone be a flower.
Be a flower is more of the story. There was also this really nice one I read. I forget which one it was. Ooh, it was from the Starseed Oracle deck, and it was the Courageous Peony one. And
I love that one.
On there is like, oh, like a flower doesn't like open and like close based on whoever walks by. It just like stays open. Ooh. And I love that like imagery because it's true, because especially as light workers, we do tend to make ourselves smaller for like people who don't really vibe with our energy, whereas like we should be like radiating it out and not giving like an F what the meanie heads think. So Anyway, flower imagery, really great. Love flowers.
Yeah. Do we want to do like how they fall in love with us? But like, do you want to pick two different questions?
Ooh, two different questions. I love that idea.
Yeah. Spice it up.
Spice up your life. Okay. So, do you want to explain it while I pull the questions?
Yeah, it's like what is it? How many questions is it? It's like a certain amount.
Questions.
36 questions that to like make you fall in love with like the person. So like each person basically answers the same 36 questions. And I think the idea is that the more you go into it, the more deeper it gets, and you like, you know, feel connected and things. So
yeah, so basically what does it say? The article says that this is a study done by the psychologist Arthur Aaron, and then it says in parentheses and others, but apparently they're not important, that explore whether intimacy between two strangers can be accelerated by asking a series of specific questions. And then I guess it's broken up into 3 sets, each set intending to be more, in their words, not mine, probing than the previous ones.
Ooh, I don't know how I
sure
feel about that word.
Very intimate. So I like these. This is gonna be a good one, Sarah. You ready?
I'm nervous.
So, do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
What? Ooh, no.
You don't.
No, I think I'm too anxious overall. I like literally like think everything's gonna make me die. So at this point, I'm like
That's fair. That's fair. You're just an overall hypochondriac.
Yeah. Do you?
Well, I always used to joke that like it was this is an awful joke, but like because everyone in my family has seemingly like died of cancer, so I was just like probably cancer. Like that just seems the more likely option of it all. But now I'm not so sure. I don't really know. If I tapped into it, I could probably figure it out, but at the same time, like I am so like iffy about death. Like I'm just kind of like, and this is very out of the norm, I realize, but I think it's just because I've had so much death surrounding my life that like, and also like I believe in reincarnation and stuff. So like for me, like this isn't the end of it. This isn't the end all be all. So the idea of death isn't really like terrifying to me. So I don't really think about it on a constant basis.
Right.
But no, because I don't care.
That's a good point too. Like it's just I think I just would worry about I previously used to worry about like things happening like constantly where it's like, well, I mean at this point it could be anything. So
right. Especially like I think Corona for you has really like opened up your eyes about like all the things that could happen, and you're just like, I don't know.
yeah.
And then and I should say the reason why we're answering these questions is the idea is so that you get to know us more intimately, but basically to psychologically manipulate you to fall in love with us and keep watching the podcast is why we're doing this.
Yes, pretty much.
When was the last time, or when did you last sing to yourself? And then the second part of that question is to someone else.
Ooh. To myself, probably like maybe like on this past Friday, because sometimes I just like hum things while I work if I'm like listening to music and stuff. To someone else, I would say I was like in a group setting. It was in choir in high school. I don't sing to people all by myself. Absolutely not.
Well, I guess my follow-up question to this question would be, does it have to be like a serious singing to somebody?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I mean, okay, then if I'm like just like singing something random, yes, I've done that. Like, but I don't remember the last time I did that.
I feel like to myself, like I sing to myself all the time. Like I'm always singing like what I'm doing. Or like they'll just be like, instead of like yelling, I think my go-to is like singing, or like if I feel uncomfortable about a situation, because it's more comfortable for me to sing, I'll like sing about my feelings to like the person.
I love that.
Really interesting. I'll be like, I feel really uncomfortable today because, and then like I'll just like list like what the reason is, and but like it'll be kind of offhand and they may or may not notice, but it doesn't matter because like I'll get it out.
Right.
It's like a really weird way to dodge confrontation.
Sing about it.
Very playful way, but also like let them know how I'm feeling, so don't be mean. So yeah, that's, I mean, and I could probably just say like that was today or yesterday.
Right.
I sing a lot. Okay. So our next segment, Sarah, is, because we want people to eventually start asking us relationship advice or like any sort of advice, because we're definitely qualified to answer that. And I think it would just, mostly I just want to have fun. So until people start sending us in questions, we're going to be answering questions from the internet.
Yes.
So will you not believe that the number one relationship question Googled out there is how to break up?
Oh, that's so sad.
And I can't say that I am not one of those people that have Googled that, unfortunately.
Oh, that depends on the situation. That depends on like, I don't know. I'm not.
Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario, and then you're going to tell me how you would break up.
What I would do if I was like not feeling it. Okay.
So you went on a trip to Africa, specifically Cape Town, to go take care of the penguins.
Okay.
And you asked your significant other to water your plants for you in your apartment while you were gone for 2 months, and they never did.
Oh.
And your plants, Sarah, mean a lot to you. So obviously that just shows their complete and utter lack of caring about things that you care about. And so you want to break up with them. How would you do it?
Oh. I don't know if I would break up with someone just because they forgot my plans, but I'm sure that would be added on to a bunch of other stuff, right?
No, it's specific. Like he's just
only
all
the
around
plan.
Perfect. Like this person's perfect except for that, but that was just a deal breaker. Like
if it was a deal breaker,
what?
If it was a deal breaker, I would just like talk to them. I would be like, maybe we won't. Maybe we're just not,
Okay, different scenario.
Okay.
Your significant other came up to you and told you, okay, no, this is your husband. Okay. He came up to you. Now that's actually, no, that's not divorce. That's divorce. Let's stay in the breakup boyfriend girlfriend area. I don't know if we're qualified to give marriage advice. So your boyfriend comes up to you, and while you've been in a retreat in South America taking care of sloths.
Why am I always like somewhere completely in the opposite? Like,
because that's my dream.
Okay.
I'm projecting. I just want to go to different places and take care of endangered animals in sanctuaries. There's a sloth sanctuary in South America that I desperately want to volunteer at, but they're not taking volunteers at the moment. Anyway, but you went there because you were very lucky and knew the president of the sloth sanctuary.
Of course I did.
And so when you get back, your significant other doesn't show up at the airport, and he was supposed to pick you up.
Oh, I would have been mad.
And then, so you come home after having to spend like $300 in taxi fees to come home. You see him sitting there, but not just sitting there with another girl. You have to break up with him. What do you do?
Oh, I would have broken up and I would have talked to him and be like, yeah, this is not going to be a thing. I would probably be more mad. I would be like, you need to leave my apartment. And also, who is this? Like,
Right, right. Oh, hold on.
yeah.
My mom's calling me. Break.
Right.
Hi, Mom. I'm good. I'm talking to Sarah, but thank you for calling me. I will talk to you when you get home, okay? I made food for you. It was like beef and rice, and there's vegetables in the oven for you. You're welcome. Oh, did you quit? Oh, okay. All right. All right, bye. Okay.
Aw.
Anyway, we're back. What were we talking about? Oh yeah. But okay, the girl's there. Do you tell him to get out with the girl? Do you break up with him then? What do you do?
Yeah.
Oh, like right then. You're just
Yeah,
like,
I'll be like, who's it? Goodbye, both of you. Go. Why are you in my house? Like,
all right, that's fair. That's fair. See, I think what I would do, I don't know. I think that's so hard. I feel like I would be like, all right, lady pants, you get out, and then I'd like have a very like serious conversation with the dude. And then I'd be like, you're leaving now.
yeah.
But moral of the story is what I wanted to kind of get at is regardless of the situation, I think that you should talk to them.
Yeah.
With your face and their face.
In person. Don't, try to like.
And don't do any weird stuff like test them or like what happened to you, Sarah. You can tell me if you feel comfortable, but if you don't, that's
I
fine.
got tested and then they just texted me and they're like, I don't want to like hang out. And I was like, okay, but like we have to test me. That's like a weird thing to do. Like,
how did they test you?
They were like just the person was just asking for things that were just like way like off boundaries, let's just say.
Yeah.
It's like stuff that you don't ask someone that you just met to do. And I was also tired and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking do that. Like and then they were like, oh, that was like a test to see if you trust me. And I was like, of course I'm not gonna trust you now. Like also, if you wanted me to trust you, we could have like talked about, it or like why like I'm like very slow at trusting people. But instead he did that. So then I was like, okay.
Right. And so I think the biggest thing is let's not play games because that just hurts people even more than necessary.
Yeah.
Just if you don't want to be with somebody or you're not interested anymore, just say like, hey, I really like you as a person. I think you're great. Even,
I've always though, like I've never also done where like people ghost people. I've always like been like, hey, I don't think, like I just don't think it's for me. Like, because I say like I don't like when people ghost me. So I don't want to do it to someone else. I'd rather tell you because that's a little bit more, that's not fair to you for me to just be like,
like I agree with you. I think I would like to say that if I had just like been on one date with a person and I wasn't interested, like I wouldn't ghost them, but I feel like now I would be able to, but before because I was so afraid of confrontation and because I had been taken advantage of psychologically from like a lot of narcissists. Like I dated a really abusive narcissist and every time I tried to break up with him, there would always be like, oh, like there would just be some sort of subtle manipulation to try to get me to like stay, and it worked because I was an empathic guilty human. And so I guess my fear would have been like I'm not strong enough to get out for myself or like, or like they would try to argue with me or something, which I realize is like 99.9 probably not like percent of the time not the case. And but luckily I haven't really had too many cases where like I've gone on dates with somebody and I'm not sure like I would be interested in seeing them more than once.
Right.
And So I've gotten very lucky in that. But yeah. More of the story, talk to them.
Yeah, talk to them.
Talk to them, don't ghost them, don't, you know.
Yeah.
And I know it's hard, but like and we are talking to, I like to imagine that we're talking to people who are very similar to us. So there might be some people that are like very, very scared of talking to people and afraid of confrontation. And for those people who are very similar to me, I would say like just like soothe your inner child, say like, hey man, like we're safe, we're good. Like if you need to bring a friend with you, that's okay. Like they don't have to be there, but you know, like, or you could have a friend on standby to call afterwards. Like that's what I do a lot of the time with you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Like if I know a situation is going to be really hard, like I'll make sure to make it for a time that Sarah's available so I can like call her afterwards. Just like stuff to soothe your inner child, just to be like, hey, like no matter what happens, like I got you, dude, you know? And, ooh, the second one, much more lighter note. Am I in love?
I don't know. I don't know. They're asking the wrong person, so you can answer that. Like,
all right. If you're Googling am I in love, chances are it's most likely you're in lust. I'm just going to say it up front. I feel like society makes love seem like this very intense like, sexual energy, and it's not. That's much more of a lust situation. And I think love comes after the honeymoon period, where you're like not feeling as excited about the person as you did in the beginning, but you're like, you know what, I really like this person. I can see myself long term with them. So I'm just going to choose to stay anyway. And in that, there grows this almost like unconditional love where like, you know, no matter what, like you've got the person's back and you're going to like do it. Like you're going to stick through it. And it's a choice. And I know like that's seemingly unromantic, but it's really beautiful to have somebody who sees all of your flaws and knows like all the bad things about you and still chooses you out of all the other people in the world. Like that's love.
Right.
And that's how you know you're in love.
That's fair.
Cheers.
I always thought like, I mean, I don't know because I don't think I've ever like gotten that far to like know. But I've always imagined that like love is like, it's not any different. Like it might be slightly different, but it's not that different from like the like love you have for like certain friends or like the like stuff, because it's still unconditional. You still like, I would do anything for you, I would do anything for my parents. Like it's very similar. I think it's not, like you said, it's not what people make it out to be, but it's still like right.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, and I don't know because you know we're only 26, so I would love to hear other people's opinions on this in the comments or like when we put this on YouTube, because this is going to be on YouTube and wherever podcasts are available. What the difference is between that unconditional like romantic love and the unconditional like family, like platonic love, and if there truly is a difference. Like I get you can be like you can unconditionally love someone and then have those like sexual feelings, but at the end of the day, like is that unconditional love part different than the unconditional love you have for like everyone else? And I don't know if I know the answer to that, honestly.
Right.
Like I know there's something like a little bit different about it. Yeah. But I don't specifically, I don't know if I could really label it as like like what it is.
Right.
We should talk about like New Year's resolutions.
Ooh.
Like what, or like, because I see all of these YouTube things because I follow a lot of like spiritual YouTubers and they're like 2021 predictions and like everything that they feel like is gonna happen. And I don't like to put things in holes like that. Like I just kind of am like, I don't know. Because one, I think to watch stuff like that, I don't know. I don't want to put anything out into the universe in my vortex, if you will, that like isn't really what I want.
Right.
So we could talk about what we want for 2021.
Ooh, what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. Well, here's the thing. I like hate doing like basic resolutions that other people do because like you're always disappointed by the end of the year. Like you're not actually gonna like get fit this year. Like, please, like, come on. Like, maybe you will, but like I feel like that's a lot of pressure. And then you come back in November and you're like, oh damn. Like so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hard. Like I don't know. Ooh. I think for me, here, I'll give myself a goal. This is the only goal that I think I'll think of more probably later, but I'll give myself one goal and then you can say what you think you are looking forward to. I think my goal is I want to continue to, because I did it this year, like starting from the summer, continue to like help build up my root chakra. And I've been doing it, but I want to continue in like the path that I am, because I think that'll be really good for me. So that's a good.
I love that goal. That is such a great goal.
Yeah.
And that is so like easily achievable too.
Right.
And when we're thinking about it though, and thinking about manifesting and law of attraction, which I'm sure a lot of you know about, if not, look it up. I'm not gonna sit here.
Use the Google.
Yeah, you have Google. I mean, a lot of it's like there's a lot of misteachings on it, so I guess we can like spend a episode or like a segment talking about it. That's fine. But what I will say is like when you are manifesting stuff a lot of the time, or like with goals and stuff, you do want to say like, oh, that's such an easy goal to hit, even if like it's not. But like things will come easier. Like if you say like, oh, things will come easy to me, this comes easy to me, like the easier it will be, the more harder you make it. And if you have this idea in your head that things have to be hard, which is a lot of what our society does right now.
Ooh, that's true.
It's gonna be hard.
People pick things that like would they think or they perceive, let's just say, oh, like I'm gonna do it, it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna do it. Like it's like kind of like that, which
exactly,
actually if you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, like I can do that, like exactly. It'll be easy, then it will come easier.
Yes, exactly. And things can be easy, you just have to let it.
Yeah,
because that's our natural flow, is just having things be easy, but we built it up as a society to make it seem like things have to be really, really hard in order to get like those really good things. But it doesn't have to be hard. Like the thing that made me the most happy and excited about what I'm doing came really, really easily to me. Like, and that's like, and usually that's a really good sign that that's what you're supposed to be doing, is if things do come easy to you. Because like the Reiki course that I took, like I had been waiting years to like take a Reiki course, but they've always been like way too expensive. And then all of a sudden this course was like so much more cheaper. And I just came across it one day and I was able to do it. And the course came really easily to me because the things that they taught, I already just kind of researched on my own anyway. So like, yes, I listened to it, but I didn't need to like study hard or anything. I was just like, bloop, bloop, quiz, done. Like, so things don't have to be hard in order for it to be rewarding and make you happy also. That went into a tangent, but so when you're thinking of your New Year's resolutions and or goals and what you want, like they don't have to be hard, and you could change your perception of it and it'll probably help a lot more. But to answer your question, I didn't really have an answer for this, so let me take a moment to ponder. I think my goals for 2021 are to move out but also like feel, what's the word? Like feel safe enough to be able to do so. Because like right now, my biggest thing about moving out is like, oh, if I move out, and this could also be a limiting belief, I haven't really looked into it too much, but if I move out, then I won't be able to like save as much money, because like right now I'm living with my mom, and she like, because she doesn't ask any rent of me, like, I mean, I do pay her because I feel bad, but like I could save up a lot more money than if I were like go get my own apartment, live on my own, and I don't know. What's the point of that? Yeah, so I want to be able to like move out and feel safe doing so, and know that I will be like abundant and provided for regardless of like
Right.
XYZ. So
I mean, to be fair, like I will like this is just like a little I guess kind of I guess personal experience. Like I think what I've learned is like even if like you do lose like some of the money in the beginning when you move, like it always ends up coming back in like weird ways.
really,
Yeah, like so I moved I moved when I first moved to Brooklyn, like obviously like I literally had like I didn't have that much in my like account. And then like I literally had maybe like $2,000 in my savings by the end of
mm-hmm.
it. But I was able to like rack up over working and stuff, like a good amount of money by like the end of my first year living there. And then the second year I racked up a bunch more. And then I moved again. And I moved again and I moved in with like a roommate, and that one was like a big blow because I also got movers and stuff, and it felt like no matter how much I tried to save, I wasn't like hitting back to where I was before I moved, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that was really frustrating, I will say. But then like because of like COVID and stuff, like then there was like a brief period of I want to say like wasn't even that long. May, June, July, August, September, like 5 months, not even,
Mm-hmm.
that I moved back home temporarily. And in that time, yeah, it's true. You do save more, but like I was able to like all the money that I was like worried about, like, you know, that I lost, like it all came back to me and then some. And then I was able to move back and I felt more like stable and stuff like that. But what was the point of this? The point is like I think don't worry about if you lose it because it will come back in a weird way
Okay.
to you. If whether it's saving or like let's say like a couple days ago, like I got my like move-in fee back. So like I just like got like some money back from like I had a fee for moving in and moving out. So I got my move-in fee check back and like, you know,
It'll balance out.
it'll balance out, it'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's a really good point. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
That was helpful to me, and I'm sure helpful to our listeners who are also probably, not probably, who some of them I'm sure are dealing with that issue. And I also, this is an overall life goal for me, but 2021 is going to be the year that I feel that I want it to happen. So it can happen because if you just believe.
Yeah.
The term for it, we talked about it yesterday. It's like getting to that complete like ego death in a way where like nothing, like again, like I can talk all day about the ego and how it's just kind of an energy, it doesn't really exist, but I think the biggest term for it known in the spiritual community is like an ego death, where nothing anybody does can affect you and you're just kind of like living your life and like doing you. And so that's I want to be an ascended master like Jesus.
Yes.
Cool. Just gotta find my tags. So I guess that's, I mean, I just want to clarify that I don't need my Mary Mags to be ascended. I just, that's more of a gotta find me like a male prostitute, I guess. I don't know. Like, is Mary Maggs being a prostitute like slander for her? She wasn't actually a prostitute. Like, that's just what the Bible says.
Oh,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I don't know anything about this. But
Because like, well, Mary Magdalene, who's Jesus' like twin flame, I think, basically, like in the Bible, she was known as like a prostitute that Jesus like helped save or whatever. But I wonder if she was just seen as a prostitute because she was a very like powerful woman that was like in her own sexuality, you know.
Ooh.
And that's how they portrayed her, but it wasn't really like, I mean, even if she was a prostitute, like good fucking for her. I wrote the world needs to know. I wrote a term paper in college all about how prostitution should be legal. So for you prostitutes out there, I support you. I love you. And you keep doing you, boo boo. Stay safe. All right. So now I think we can end the podcast. Okay. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. Yeah.
I hope you got something out of it. Do you hear my mom in the background?
Yeah.
We'll just wait for the alarm to shut off. Okay. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. This was just our first one, so obviously it'll evolve into something I think really cool eventually, but you know, when you're doing things, I think this is a big thing for me specifically, is like not having to have everything polished and known, and like just to have it out there and start something.
Right. Yeah, I remember like we would talk about wanting to do this for like a while, and like I was even like nervous, so but I think it's like cool that we're at least, you know, we're trying, we'll put it out there and just see what happens, you know.
Absolutely. Being seen is really hard, so practicing what we preach and doing it. So
and with we should have your mom on just like as a guest one day.
Oh my god, one day
we can have my dad on too if you want. Like that's a mood.
That would be the best. Sarah's dad. This podcast is gonna be so freaking long. Sarah's dad is the cutest little old man, and he has so much earth in his chart, and so he's just like the epitome of an earth sign, and he's just the best.
Yeah, the best. He's quite. Both of them, my mom and dad, are very much like such cartoon characters. That's like the best way I can describe them.
It's so great. You'll have to tell us like there is stories sometime.
Yeah.
Like when they happen.
Next time something. I'll probably have something good when I go home.
Oh my gosh.
So
that'll be so exciting.
I'll rack up some stories for everyone about them.
All right. Sarah, do you want to say any parting words?
I think we said it. We're like, you know, we're doing it, and we hope people, you know, keep going on this journey with us. It'll be fun, and we'll I guess see everyone hopefully next podcast.
Bye.
Bye.